What do we say to emulation? Not today. Here we are. This is the PCB used for Marvel Superheroes in the arcade 1-up. And to be honest, if this was the end-all, be-all, nobody would be messing with Raspberry Pis, or in this video, actual arcade hardware. So let's move on from here and see what we need in order to make this cabinet legit. In no particular order, first off, we have our arcade game RGB to VGA video converter, a video driver converter board for the Gen 3 arcade 1-up monitor, a standard arcade JAMMA harness, preferably pre-labeled to avoid any feature hassle, a Capcom kick harness, which I'm not showing here, an arcade power supply, which I'll be showing you in just a few minutes, and of course the most important item to be making this cabinet the real thing, the Capcom CPS2 A and B board, which this one being Marvel Superheroes. Now when you start this venture off and unravel that JAMMA harness, you may feel a little intimidated, but stick with it. It's not that bad and it'll pay off in the end. Here's my cabinet completely wired up. First off, you will see that I chose to run Marvel vs. Capcom currently. I also went with mounting the board on the sidewall with the JAMMA harness facing down and the fans facing up. It's not the cleanest installation, but I have no trouble tracing any of my wiring. Now here you can see I have the driver board mounted on legs on the back of the monitor, but no part of the board is touching the actual monitor, and you'll want to avoid that. The sound amp will be required if you want to hear the game, and the speakers are mounted directly to it. There is our RGB to VGA board mounted. From here you'll see that hat power supply I mentioned earlier, and you should be able to run all the power from this cabinet here. Our coin door all wired up, as well as the controls, and we are in business. Now we're the real deal. Marvel Superheroes running on the Capcom CPS2 hardware the way it always meant to be. Let's remember, you now have full access to the game menus in case you want to change the difficulty or any other settings. Also remember you have access to all arcade cheats, as I'm told they didn't work for the emulator. Now let's prepare for some buttery smooth arcade goodness. Yeah, I forgot to turn the sound on for this one, but trust me, it's there. See, I told you the sound was there. Alright, here we have X-Men vs. Street Fighter. If you have multiple boards, you can change them at any time. Just pull off the previous board. And you can plug the new one on the CPSA board. It just fits right in. Just be careful not to bend a pin or anything. Again, as before, let's put a quarter in it. Everything now runs as it should. Perfect. No input lag. Actual arcade hardware, remember? And if you lose, it's because you suck. No more blaming the emulation. No more blaming your sticks. Should be running Sanwa here anyways. And that's pretty much all I did in order to make this setup legit. Now that's not to say emulation is bad. They both have their positives and negatives. Actual arcade hardware can get very expensive. And if you have to do some troubleshooting, you'll be pulling your hair out. It's not practical. I made this build because I can. As far as my emulation builds, this is my Nesca X Live build, featuring some more recent arcade releases. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button. If you want to see far crazier builds coming soon, hammer that subscribe bell. For some clues to future unreleased projects that you'll probably never see Arcade 1-Up release, check out the end. Thanks again.